Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Na karibu tena to the Tyler Talk Show. This is Safe Palace Show. Thank you so much for always keeping it here. Thank you for always subscribing. Keep subscribing, keep sharing, keep commenting, keep sending the message outside there. Last week we had Mrs. Obai and we had an amazing show. I hope you enjoyed yourself. And tonight, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not alone. I am joined by my brother, a man of God we serve together, Pastor Kevin.
Thank you.
How are you, sir?
I'm doing good.
Uko fiti?
Kabisa.
Good to see you, sir. We are very blessed to have you today.
I'm also honored to be here.
Yes, sir. Karibu sana. This is the Tyler Talk Show. We call it the Safe Palace Show.
Wow.
Where talking is healing.
Wow.
Yes, and last week, sir, we had Mrs. Obai and we had a very beautiful show.
Yes.
And tonight we have you, sir.
Yes.
Now, before we start now, who is Pastor Kevin?
Now, Pastor Kevin, first of all, is a man.
Mm-hmm.
It's good to define that.
Yes, sir.
I am a man. Secondly, I am a teacher.
Mm-hmm.
A retired teacher.
Retired teacher.
Retired teacher.
Pastor, umeretire ukiwa that is uko na pesa.
Thirdly, I lead a ministry called TLG, Transforming Lives for God.
Yes.
That does ministry in high schools, universities, and colleges. Mm-hmm. And above it all, I am not married.
Okay.
Yes, I am not married.
Very important.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, but I'm blessed to be here.
Yeah.
Yes, that is just a brief view of who Pastor Kevin is.
Sir, where do you pastor?
Let me say, I'm not the senior pastor, but I serve.
Mm-hmm.
I serve under a man of God called Pastor Dennis Mwangi.
Mm-hmm.
And the church where I serve is City Light Center Church International.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
You see, over and over again, guys have heard City Light Center Church International on the show,
Yes.
and they're wondering, who is City Light Center Church International again?
Yes.
Who is City Light Center Church International, or when did it begin? What is the brief history of the church?
Now, before it became City Light Center Church International as a church, the man of God was given a burden to begin high school ministry. That is when he began with TLG. Then later, after doing it for some good number of years, later in 2018, that is when God called him, gave him the burden to open a church.
Okay.
And that is when now it evolved to be a church where he is leading. We are a home of love, a home of healing, a home of prayer. Yes, and it's been 3 years.
Okay.
Actually, we are celebrating our anniversary on 30th of May.
Wow.
So it's a blessing being here.
Wow, that is beautiful, sir. Now, sir, today we are talking about men.
Yes.
And as we start, sir, please define to us what is the responsibility of a man.
What responsibility and the maturity of a man is, what let me say this. What is this maturity, or what is this level of responsibility whereby we define who a man is? One, I can say, is the ability of this person to be both psychologically, emotionally, and physically stable.
Okay.
That is how I can define a man is mature, because we don't define a man being responsible by a man being able to give money or to provide money in a family. That is just part. But it's the ability of this man being built holistically, or in a way whereby both huyu mtu wako psychologically okay, spiritually okay, emotionally okay, and even, yes, that aspect. Because we have so many people who are boys and not men.
Okay. Ulikuwa tuanze kututusi kwa show. Okay. They are boys, not men. Define the two, sir.
Now, who is a boy? A boy is somebody who, one, is not driven by a sense of direction.
Okay.
But a man is driven by a sense of direction.
A boy is one that is not driven by
a sense of direction.
But a man is the person that is driven by a sense of direction. Wow, powerful. Yes. Okay. Now, we said men have issues.
Yes.
And these are some of the issues now we are starting to deal with right now.
Yes.
Because, truth be told,
yes,
our boys or our men outside here, hawataki kuwa wanaume. You know, a man, like you have said, is not a person who can provide. He's a person who is mentally, physically, and spiritually stable.
Yes.
Now, what or how can we help this man be all that stability?
Yes.
How can a man be helped?
Now, you see, first of all, we must address where this issue began from. Because for a long time, the society has defined a man as somebody who is irresponsible, somebody who impregnates women, somebody who dumps women and leaves them. That is what the society has defined who a man is.
Okay.
Truth be told, that is what the society has defined. Today you ask, they will tell you a man is somebody who will impregnate a lady, dump them, leave them. And it has reached to a point whereby now we are being blamed for women being motherless.
Okay. Okay.
You see? And you see, when we allow the society to define who a man is, we will miss the point. Because who is a man biblically? Then,
Yes.
you see, when you go biblical, even in the book of Genesis, a man was somebody whom God gave an instruction, whom God gave a sense of direction. He was in Eden.
Wow. Okay.
He was in Eden.
Okay.
The presence of God. He was there. He was cultivating. He was working there in the garden. But for a long time, the society has defined who a man is.
Okay.
So now let's begin addressing where did this issue begin from of men? Because truth be told, sir, we are men, and let's be logical.
Yes, sir. Let's call it as it is.
Let's call it as it is.
Yes.
The first time you approached a lady, you even thought of approaching a lady, you had fear.
Mingi, where, a lot of it.
You had fear.
A lot of it.
You had fear that
Yeah.
this person would reject you.
Yeah.
So, how a man was built, even from how just a normal man is built, is that from the beginning, you would fear how this other gender
Yeah.
will address you.
Yeah.
How will they take you?
Yeah.
So, there ended up being that mentality of being rejected.
Wow. Okay.
There was that aspect and that mentality of being rejected at first. Because men are people who are built with an ego in them. It's just naturally in
So
men.
every man has an ego in them.
There is an ego that men have.
Okay. Okay.
So, how this ego, it will either affect you positively or negatively. But there is something in you that as a man, there is that thing in you that tells you that you want to protect as a man. There is an ego you want to protect as a man.
Okay. So men protect their ego.
They protect their ego.
They protect their dignity.
They protect their dignity.
Okay.
Truth be told,
Okay.
yes.
Now, sir, talking of ego and dignity,
Yes.
let us face it.
Yes.
Let us just face it as it is.
Yes.
There are people who do not have dignity, and they are men. Why am I saying that?
Yes, sir.
If a man is not being able of taking responsibility, sir, there is no dignity there.
Yes, sir.
If a man is not being able of being a leader, there is no dignity there.
Yes.
Now, he dignity, sir, na hii ego. How can we help this man protect that ego, protect that dignity? Like akitokea hivi,
Yes.
you see now this is a man.
Yes.
Because truth be told, you can see two men, the same age, they were 30, but we'll see a boy in one and a man in another. How can we help this boy become a man?
Now, I want to begin by saying, reiterating on what you've said.
Yeah.
Inside every man, there is a boy. No, inside every boy, there is a man.
Okay.
But now, how do we bring out this man out of the boy?
Okay.
Because a man is not defined because you wear a trouser.
Okay.
A man is not defined because you have beards. There are many people who are 50 years but still boys, not men.
Okay. Okay. 50 years, but they're still boys.
They are still boys, not men.
Okay. Why are they boys, sir?
Now, let me say this. You've handled an aspect of, you will see one thing in a, you will see two men, but one is a boy and another one is a man.
Yes, sir.
Because if you do not know who you are first, you will become who you are not supposed to be.
Okay. 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 If
That's
you
the
do not
fact.
know who you are.
Yes, it begins by that man discovering who they are.
Discovering who they are.
Who they are.
Okay.
Don't let the society define you. Discover who you are as a man. Because you don't call yourself You address yourself not from the place where you are now, but to the place where you are going to.
Okay.
That's why when you're speaking, you're not speaking to boys. You are speaking to men. You are speaking to fathers. Because who calls you a name will really define who you are. Because let's begin addressing this issue from the root. Some of these men underwent issues in life.
Okay.
Some of them were either rejected by their mothers. Walikuwa natusiwa ng'ombe wewe.
Okay.
So they ended up growing with the mentality that my self-esteem is down. Some of the things they went through, they saw either their mothers abusing their fathers.
Okay.
Their mother saying, even see your father, he's not even able to provide.
Wewe ni mjinga kama baba
Wewe
yako.
ni mjinga kama baba yako.
Okay.
Some of these things began happening at the family level when these people were growing up. So even when they ended up growing of age, there is something in them that had not come out.
Okay. Okay.
There is something inside them that had not come out. Because kuna kitu yao ilikrashiwa. There is a self-esteem that was crushed. There is a self-image that they began building that they were not supposed to build. Why? Because of issues they went through while they were growing up in their childhood.
Okay. Wow. So you have said about self-esteem.
Yes.
The man outside here right now has no self-esteem.
Yes.
I am a counselor psychologist.
Yes.
And I have met guys that come and tell me, yo, I cannot even approach a lady. I don't even, I feel worthless. I feel I am not yet there. Self-esteem of these men is very low.
Yes.
Very low.
Yes.
Not you come because of money or they cannot just even approach a lady.
Yes.
That is why we are having a lot of guys outside here taking drugs because they feel I'm not there. Hii self-esteem ya hawa wanaume tutaiboost aje?
Now let me say this. A man is built in three phases. A man is a spirit. There is a soul,
Okay.
and he lives in a body. Now the soulish realm or the soul is where emotions are. Is where the will is where your mind is. Now let me say this, because for a long time the other gender or the women think that men don't have emotions.
Okay. Yes, sir.
Men do have emotions because that is why they have a soul. At times they feel low. At times they feel happy.
Wow.
Because why some of the men in our society, we are seeing the way they are, for a long time, there is the aspect of mwanaume kukufa na kiako naye.
Kukufa na ngori.
Kukufa na ngori, hata ileta nje. Because a man will not bring the emotions easily outside.
Yeah, true. True.
Because there is that misconception of a man does not have emotions. Let me say this. Every man has an emotion.
Yes, sir.
As long as you are a human being, you are a psychologist, you will tell me the truth.
Yes.
Every man, every human being, whether you are a woman, whether you are a man, you have emotions.
Yeah, true. Wow.
So a man has emotions. And if they are not enabled to express their emotions, they will retrieve.
Okay.
And that is when you'll find a man so much conservative. He's more of an introvert, not an extrovert.
Wow.
That is why you find people that don't have visions in life, because they were not allowed to express themselves, to talk out.
Okay.
They were not given a listening ear. Wenda hata ile siku buda yako, your father used to listen to your sister more than you.
True.
When you go and ask your father, daddy nipatie hii, atakwambia ana. Sister yako akienda kumwambia, atampatia. So unashindwa. Kwani ilitoka wapi?
So these issues start from home.
They begin from they begin back. We can trace back the root to the family. We can trace back the root. to the families.
Okay.
We can trace back. There is an issue. There is something that happened back there that ought to be handled.
Wow, hold that thought, sir.
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, Pastor amesema every man has feelings. Well, keep talking to us, man. Keep subscribing. Keep sharing. Spread this gospel outside there. Today we are handling boys' issues, man. Today it's only the men in the building.
Yes.
But ladies, keep sharing. Keep telling us, what do you think about a man? And unajua, sir, there is a time I asked kwa Facebook.
Yes.
Nikauliza ladies, would you date, what kind of a man will you date? Or what is your turn off in a relationship? Ladies attacked us. Sir, the ladies attacked us. They said, oh, men are lazy. Oh, men do not want to work. Oh, men do not have vision. Men, they told us all sorts of things. But today we are here to clear those, sir.
Yes.
Because I believe there are still men that have what it takes out there.
Very,
I
very
believe there are still men who can stand up and be counted as men. But now, sir, you have said these issues can be traced back at home.
Yes.
Now, help us to be better fathers.
Yes.
Because we very soon will be fathers.
Yes.
Help us to be better fathers. What kind of help, what kind of attention can a father give to his son to make sure that that son grows up as a real man, as a man with responsibility,
Yes.
as a man with a vision? Help us be better fathers, sir.
On that context, or on what you said, anytime you think of giving up as a man, know there is somebody looking at you.
Okay. Okay.
Know there is somebody looking at you. In short, what am I trying to say? As a man, be a role model.
Wow.
Be a role model yourself. As a man, how you want your young boy to behave, begin teaching them.
Okay. Okay.
Begin teaching them. Kama unataka ajue kuendesha gari, enda na yeye. Mwambie hivi ndo inafanywa. This is what we do. This is how we go about it. Because many people, many men have not gotten that attention.
Okay.
For a long time, it is like the attention is shifted to the other gender. We are not here to attack ladies or anything like that.
Yeah.
But it is the truth be told.
Yes.
You'll not find a man sitting with you'll not find a father sitting with the son and telling him this is how it's supposed to be. We ought to be there for our sons. We ought to tell them, you see, men, we should not show people our medals, but our scars.
Okay.
Let's show them our scars. Tell your young son, this is what I did, my son. These are the pitfalls that I went through. And I would not want you to make this mistake. Let it not be a matter of don't do this, don't do this, don't do this.
Without a reason.
And you're not telling me a reason. You're not telling me a reason. You should tell me the reason.
Fathers should not be there to tell their sons, do not do this,
Yes.
do not do that,
Yes.
and they're not giving us a reason.
A reason.
But truth is that, sir, growing up, especially like now for me, you are being told, don't do this,
Yes.
don't do that, without a reason.
Yes.
And maybe that is why some of us men grow up with that, the notion of mine is only to say. I don't have to give a reason. So do you believe a man should be like, Lion of Judah kwa hiyo nyumba? Some of us are getting married and our marriages are being messed up because we grew up knowing when I say it, it is final. I don't have to say to give a reason. Do you think that is where we are coming from? Is the reason this is happening? Because our fathers did not give us reasons.
Now let me say this, as I began by saying, most of the time when we are not given a sense of direction as to why we should not handle some things the way they are, there is a nature we tend to develop within us. But you've asked a very good question. This notion of a man should not be told anything, and that is final. I am the Lion of Judah. There is one Lion of Judah, and that is Jesus.
Yes. Wow.
And even Jesus himself used to say, I do what I see my Father do. So there is an aspect
Wow.
men are driven by what they see.
Okay.
What they see, their people above them do.
Okay.
That is who a man will tend to. You must model for them how you want them to live.
Wow, you must show them.
You must show them.
Okay.
Because when they see you do it, they will do it. Sorry to use this example in the show. Just to bring the point home.
Yeah.
Unajua ulikuwa unaenda mahali unapata wameandika usikojoe hapa.
Okay. Yes.
Then unapata when you get a fellow man there, kuna kapia pressure
kana kuingia kidogo.
Kana kuingianga. Na wewe unaingia tu unafanya kile amefanya.
Because you have seen someone.
Because you've seen them do it. A woman will need to sit and think a lot before they do it.
Yeah. Okay. That is a very important point, sir.
Yes, sir.
A woman will think about something before they do it.
Before they do it.
But men do not. We just do things. we just see and do.
Because I want you to know something. A man may have a vision.
Yeah.
But the woman carries the steps to achieving the vision.
Powerful. Okay.
That is why we have different types of men. There are men who have been wounded that seek for a woman who can come and nurse them.
Okay. Okay.
There are men who have been babysitted. They are seeking for a mother who can come and still pamper them.
Okay. And last time we had Pastor Deno on the show, and he told us, we men are looking for their mothers in women. Yes, sir.
And you see, men, the way they are modeled is that they will cast something and there needs to be somebody who will back them. So let's go back to what you asked. A man is not really defined by what you by how you shout to a woman.
Yes.
But what sense of direction can you give to that woman?
Okay. Direction.
Are you able to give them leadership? Because the reason is we are having so many marriages being broken. I'm not married. But let me say this, because we are having people getting into something and they are not able to give their women direction. They are not able to they think shouting is the thing. They think beating their spouses is the thing, and that is not it. If you cannot give women a sense of direction, if you cannot instruct them, if you cannot give them if you cannot be able to father them and direct them, then if there is nothing you can add in the life of that person, then you have no use then being in that person's life.
Okay.
So you're not a man is not defined by how high you shout, but it is in how well can you give this person direction? How well can you give them? Well can you instruct them?
Sir, let us come here and ask ourselves.
Yes.
You are a man of God,
Yes.
and I know so many people can come to you and ask you, what kind of a man should I get into a relationship with? And ladies are asking this question because we have guys outside here,
Yes.
but it is very hard now to differentiate
Yes.
who is a man and who is a boy.
Yes.
What kind of a man should a lady now be looking at and say, now this is a man? Is it a man who is shouting? Is it a man with direction? Is it a man? What kind of a man?
Let me say this. As a woman, you don't choose what you want, but what you need.
Okay. Okay. What you need.
What you need.
Not what you want. Wow.
Because if it is what you want, there are many people who want people who have money, who drive cars.
Wow.
Because there is a difference between a need and a want. Today when I say a car does not want gas, it needs gas. Why? Because the need is able to give them a sense of functionality and them flowing in their purpose.
Okay. Okay. Wow. What you need.
What you need,
Not what you want.
not what you want. Because if it is what you want, hey my friend, hizo vitu haziko kwa hii world.
You can want so many things.
You can want so many things.
Wow. Now, yeah.
In the same way, you can want, because you want, you can pick anything.
Okay.
Hata mwenye kwa kinyasa, mwenye ajijui, you can pick anything because that's what you want. But it is what you need that gives you a sense of you flowing in your purpose and functioning as who you are.
Wow, that is powerful, sir.
Because a woman is meant to procreate what they are given.
Aye.
As a man, if you give them joy, they multiply joy.
They procreate.
They procreate.
Hey,
if you give them peace, they multiply peace.
Wow.
So as a woman, it is what you need, not what you want.
Wow, powerful. Now, sir,
Yes.
I have heard young men saying, I am like this because hakuna jobs. Navuta bangi sababu niko frustrated hakuna kazi. Do you think our men nowadays are giving so much excuses instead of standing up and picking themselves up as men? Because I have had a lot of excuses outside here. Oh, hakuna jobs. Oh, are we as men giving excuses instead of manning up and taking responsibility?
Boys will knock for doors, but men will create doors.
Powerful. Boys will knock
doors.
Doors.
They go knocking doors and complaining there are no jobs. But men will create jobs.
Okay, tell us more about that, sir. What do you mean?
You see, a man from Genesis, a man, the way God put the man there, man was meant to work. He was meant to name animals. He was meant to function in that place. He wasn't just sitting. That's why he was told name animals. Fanya hii, angalia hii.
Yeah.
He was told do all that.
Yes.
But the reason is we are waiting. We are waiting for these things to bring themselves. And there is a difference between job and work.
Okay.
Job is what you are paid salary to do. Work is your purpose.
Wow. So, job, you get a salary.
Salary.
But work, you live in your purpose.
You
Work
live in
is
your purpose. Work is purpose.
Wow.
That's why he says, work your salvation with fear and tremble. There is work. There is effort. There is sacrifice. So men ought to style up themselves. They ought to be people who will pay the price, who will be ready to sacrifice time. So if today, you see, there is this issue of full-time ministry. Let's address that. Because we are having so many young people coming up and they are saying, I have been called into full-time ministry. You can be a full-time minister working as a doctor.
Okay.
You can be a full-time minister working as a media personality. What is in your hands? What are you doing?
Wow.
And you see, it's time we ask ourselves, you see, if today you are employed with one company, you cannot be employed in another company. Some of us are already employed in the realm.
Okay.
That's why you find people whom God has just given them a direction, flow in ministry. That is what God. But don't compare yourself with another man and say, hata mimi nimeitwa kufanya hii. Get a clear sense of direction first before you move certain steps in life. Because we must be people who, let's not give excuses.
Yes.
If either you are a man of God, work on that which God has given you. Study, wake up, sleep late, wake up early, do something. And through that, God blesses you.
Well, sir, you have said something. You have said paying the price.
Yes.
And you have also said comparing yourself with other people.
Yes.
Young men outside here are looking probably at you and they're like, pastor is doing a great ministry.
Yes, sir.
They don't know the price you paid for that.
Yes, sir.
They want to be you.
Yes, sir.
They want to drive a big car like so and so. They want to live a good life like so and so.
Yes.
But they don't want to pay that price.
Yes.
They don't. Are we comparing ourselves too much? Are we desiring other people's lives too much? Because people are dying outside here with depression.
Very.
Oh, I want to be like so and so.
Yes.
But they are not accepting to go through the process and pay that price. So, what do we do?
Never be pressured to become somebody whom you're not.
Wow.
Be you. Be simple. Be you. Don't live another person's life.
Okay.
Because that is where we have reached. You get a man and a higher gari ndio onyeshe msichana.
Yes.
At indo class, indo standard niko.
Yes.
That's not supposed to be. You'd rather get me in my humble beginning. The reason why we are living people's life is because we've tended not to believe in ourselves that we are unique in our own way.
Okay.
You cannot be me.
Yes.
I cannot be you.
Yes.
All of us are modeled and wired differently inside. So if I tend to become like you, I'll be short-circuited. That's why you find people who are frustrated, entering into depression. Because they didn't show these women who they are at first. They were living a fake life, whom they are not.
Yes.
My father used to tell me something. My father is still there. I honor my father. My biological father used to tell me, my son, kama leo tuko na pesa ya sukuma ya kununua, wacha tununue sukuma na tukule.
Yes.
Kama leo tuko na ya nyama, my son, wacha tununue nyama na tukule. Na neighbor yetu, alikuwa anakwambia unasikia tu nyama daily.
Yes.
Lakini ulikuwa unapata time anatumba kitunguu. Because alikuwa anaishi life sio yake.
Yes.
Let's not live a life that is not ours. Be you. Be you. Be you. Don't let any other person define your life. If you can take your woman as a man, kukunywa uji, wasikume kusikue romantic, labda hivyo ndo mtu wako wako.
Mtu wako anataka kunywa uji.
Anataka kunywa uji.
You know, that is very serious because young men are beginning probably relationships on a very high note.
Yes.
Something they cannot maintain.
Yes.
A young man is getting to some 2,000 shillings and taking a lady out for lunch KFC to impress them. And then, what the man in your box, the man cannot sustain that. Are we biting more than you can chew?
Today, if you give a woman one lollipop, tomorrow you bring another lollipop. They become two. He will expect you to bring 3 lollipops.
The next day?
Yes.
Okay.
And you see, the place of a man walking with a woman, or in the place of them courting and all that, it is not a place whereby you sample hotels.
Okay.
I'm not saying it is bad to go out and take those people out, but that's a time to discover yourself. Discover yourself first before you go into that relationship.
Okay.
Secondly, as you're going that's a time to see, are you merging together in purpose? Because it is purpose that should connect you to people together. As a man, because check yourself first. Some of us, we have not checked ourselves first.
Yes, sir.
As men before we enter in this relationship. That's why we find we are frustrated. Because as a man, you should invest on your woman. Invest on them. Bring out the best in them. Don't be a person who exploits them. Don't be a person. Because when you don't value the place where you are in right now, you will begin living a fake life. And that's why you will find people want women who have money. It's not money that you're going for. It's the purpose that is bringing you two people together. That's why man had to be in the garden doing something. Then the woman
came. Wow. Sir, let us address this issue.
Yes, sir.
We are seeing young men.
Yes.
Nasikia wanaitwa Ben 10. Nasikia wanaitwa Ben 10. Young men are being married by older women. Is it self-esteem iko chini ama they are just too lazy, they don't want to work, or they are being married by older women? Wanapoa gari, wanapoa nyumba pale Kileleshwa, Lavington. Their work is just to stay there and do some other things. Where are we going as men? What are we doing?
Um, a real man will be respected because of how well you've established yourself emotionally, psychologically. How well are you wired? What image have you built in your life? Who are you? Have you invested in yourself?
Wow.
Because when you've invested in yourself as a man, you cannot go for sugar mummies. That is stripping yourself naked and taking yourself so cheaply.
Wow.
Because when you've invested in yourself, you ought to get somebody who've also invested in themselves. In terms of they know where they are going, they know who they are in life. As in, you ought to get somebody you can grow with.
Wow. Grow with.
Grow with.
Not to find somebody who's already grown.
Who's already grown there.
Okay.
That's why you find we have people who are being exploited and beaten badly in the house. Because you rent for money. And after you rent for money, these people, when they are calling you to either come into their lives or marry them or live with them, there is something they want.
Yes, sir.
From you. When
Yes,
they
sir.
get it,
They leave you. Wow.
they go get another thing.
Yes.
Because there is a need they have that they want to be satisfied. Once they get that, they leave you.
Wow. Okay. Now, sir, as we finish, there's a young man outside there, and
Yes.
He's feeling rejected. He's feeling they don't have their self-esteem up there.
Yes.
They feel worthless.
Yes.
They feel I am too messed up to even approach a girl. I am messed up to associate myself with people.
Yes.
I want you to look at the camera, sir,
Yes.
and encourage that young man outside there.
Yes.
Encourage him to a point that he will not now feel like, we are having so many suicides outside here.
Yes.
Young men committing suicides. Encourage a young man.
Wow. You are not too broken not to be repaired. Let me say that.
Yes, sir.
You are not too broken not to be repaired. There is something. You are not a boy. Let me say that. You are a man. I'm speaking to you not as a boy, but as a man. Even if no one has ever told you that you're a man, hear this from me. You are a man. You are a man.
Yes.
So don't belittle yourself, but rather invest in yourself as a young man. Don't seek to go into something when you've not established yourself very well. When you've not built yourself very well. Take time as a man, invest in yourself. Become better. Become better in that which you are doing. Polish yourself. Become better. Be in your purpose. Don't just be anywhere else. Don't just be anywhere else. And my desire for you is that even as you're growing, get a mentor who can enable you to grow.
Yes.
Who can be a ladder for you. Who can be a feather for you. Get somebody. You cannot walk on your own. You are not too messed up, I repeat again. There are men who've gone ahead of us. Get a mentor. Get somebody, because those people, they have an experience that we do not have. So get somebody who can mentor you. Get somebody who has gone ahead of you. Get them. Ask them. Let them mold you. Let them train you to become a better man. And when they've trained you, when they've imparted the wisdom, and when they've imparted what they have in you, then you can become somebody in the society. We don't have useless men. You're not a useless man. You are a man of substance. You are a man of valor. Don't define yourself because of the family you've come from. Even Gideon, he thought he had come from a little family. But when the angel came, he referred to him from a point of who he is.
Yes.
You are a man of valor.
Wow.
Yes.
Thank you so much, sir, for coming.
God bless you.
Powerful words there.
Amen.
Karibu sana tena na tena.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, guys, for joining us tonight. Thank you for tuning in to Safe Palace, where we say talking is healing. Thank you so much, ladies, even for tuning in. Last week we tuned into your show, Pia. Karibu sana. Thank you. Continue sharing, continue subscribing, continue spreading the word outside there. Until next time, my name is Royalty MOG. God bless you. God keep you. See you next time.